Now I'm going to talk about how to form the aorist tense in Turkish in the negative. Remember, the aorist tense, also known as the geniş zaman or broad tense, has a broad range of uses. So you may see the aorist negative cropping up in proverbs, stories, jokes, guesses, predictions, statements about general habits, customs, and in many other contexts, including polite requests. Let's see how to form the aorist in the negative. For our first example verb, we're going to use bakmak, the Turkish verb meaning to look. Just like in the affirmative, we're going to start with the verb stem, so bak. Optional pronoun, ben, bak. Now, the formation of the aorist in the negative is quite different from the formation of the aorist in the affirmative. What we're going to do, though, is quite simple. We're simply going to take this verb stem, we're going to add the appropriate form of the aorist negative suffix, and then we'll add the personal suffix for the aorist negative that's appropriate to what we want to say. Let's see how we do it. For the first person singular, we'll start with our verb stem as always, and we will choose the appropriate aorist negative suffix. Now, notice that the aorist negative suffix comes in a form, well, it comes in two forms, which vary according to the rules of two-way vowel harmony. One of these forms we have not seen before. But for the first person, singular and plural, we're going to use our familiar me or ma aorist negative suffix according to the rules of two-way vowel harmony. So ben, bak, ma, and now we simply add the appropriate personal suffix. So ben bakmam. I don't look, or I won't look. Moving on to sen in the second person, we're going to get to use our nifty new aorist negative suffix according to the rules of two-way vowel harmony. So we will either choose mez or maz. Sen, bak, there's our verb stem, maz, two-way vowel harmony. Sen, bak, maz, and we still need to add the appropriate personal suffix. Now the personal suffix for the second person singular is, as usual, going to follow the rules of four-way vowel harmony, but effectively, because this suffix is harmonizing with the syllable immediately preceding it, so harmonizing with whatever form of the negative suffix we've added, it's always going to be either sin or sun for the second person singular. So sen bakmaz sun. You don't look, or you won't look. O, he, she, or it, bak. Again, for the second and for the third person, singular and plural, so for these four, we are going to use this new form of our negative suffix, so mez or maz. Vowel harmony, two-way vowel harmony tells us it's bak, maz, and then we don't have a third person singular personal suffix which we need to add. So this is enough. O bak maz, he or she or it doesn't look. Moving on to the plural, biz, we, bak. Now, this is first person. So for I or for we, we're going to stick with our familiar me or ma negative suffixes. So biz, bak, ma, and now we'll simply add the appropriate form of the first person plural suffix according to the rules of four-way vowel harmony. And again, effectively, it's either going to be yiz or yiz. Notice that the personal suffixes for the aorist and the negative are basically the same as the personal suffixes that you've encountered in the aorist in the affirmative. The only real difference is that we have this buffer ye. Why do we have that buffer ye? Well, because in the first person, the negative suffix we're adding is always going to be either me or ma in the aorist. That means that it's always going to end in a vowel, so as we go to attach is, ooze, we'll want to insert that buffer y. So, very simple, biz, bak, ma, yiz. Siz, you plural or you formal, Bak. Now we're back to our new form of the negative suffix. Bakmazsınız. Four-way vowel harmony, we choose sınız. Finally, onlar, they, bakmaz. They don't look, or they won't look. We also have the option, although we do not have to, of adding the plural suffix according to the rules of two-way vowel harmony. So ler, or in this case, lar. Onlar bakmaz, optional, lar. They don't look, they won't look. Let's look at an example with another verb. Now nothing is going to change in terms of how we form the aorist negative, even if the verb stem we're using ends in a vowel. So it'll be just exactly the same way of forming it. So the verb dinlemek in Turkish means to listen. We want just the stem, so we drop the infinitive ending, dinle, and now we'll simply choose the appropriate aorist negative suffix. This is first person, ben dinleme, and now the personal suffix, ben dinlemem, I don't listen or I won't listen. Sen dinlemez. Sen dinlemezsin. Sen dinlemezsin. You don't listen or you won't listen. O dinlemez. And we don't have a personal suffix we need to add. Biz dinleme, first person, so we're using the me, ma. Dinleme, buffer ye, is. Dinlemeyiz. We don't listen or we won't listen. Siz dinlemez. Siz dinlemezsiniz. You don't listen or you won't listen. Finally, onlar dinlemez. And we can stop there, that's correct. Onlar dinlemez, they don't listen. Or onlar dinlemez, optional, ler. We can add the plural suffix according to the rules of two-way vowel harmony if we are so inclined. I just want, before we finish this video, to draw your attention to which forms of the aorist in the negative receive this new maz negative suffix. So, any form in the second or the third person. So, sen bakmazsın, o bakmaz. Siz bakmazsınız, onlar bakmaz, or onlar bakmazlar. Sen dinlemezsin, o dinlemez. Siz dinlemezsiniz, and onlar dinlemezler, or dinlemez.